DK, or Dhor Kristil, is another title assigned to people who help or work towards the liberation of worlds through enlightenment. It can be translated as one who gives Christ energy, Christ consciousness, as some say. Dhor Kristil, with a K, DK, is a title given to people who have a distinctive type of energy, of healing or guidance, or renewing and seeding positive thought, concepts, and energy into a place or a planet. It's a very old concept, preceding the creation of the United Federation of Planet itself, as is the Jedi or the Jedi, that are also the same, but with the difference that they do so alone. Alone as in no one like them to help at their level, and alone as in no one else around. It's called Christ energy or Christ energy holders. But contrary to what many think, there isn't just one Christ, as it's a state of mind, not a title for one person. So, in fact, there are several DKs in existence from that point of view, although there is always a search for an ultimate DK who can never come. In fact, every person is that, as DK energy is an inescapable part of all creatures, real people, as fragments of the whole, of the one, of oneness. You don't even know you have become this until some high official comes and pins that on you. Is this the Earth term? DK is not an Earth term, and neither is the Jedi. DK on Earth is known as Christ or Christ energy. The Jedi is also a very interesting topic, as it means a lonely, enlightened being with psychic powers mentally altering the field, working mostly alone, no master, only the mission to do what is right, often battling dark forces, if not always. DK is a universal old term, of which its origin has been lost in time. The modern human explanations about the term, the Kristil, Christ, part of DK, for example, is more of a modern attempt to make the term fit into what is known, not the original term. Same for the Jedi and for Ptal. Old titles and names. So old it's lost in time. And you feel Christ energy term is the appropriate term for this? Because Christ term would be human. I have no other word, but I do not like it as it's religiously loaded, as you can imagine. It looks like it's directly related to Jesus Christ when it's not. Yes. However, I think Christ energy and Christ consciousness is used here in a different way, so I think it's okay. I still think it's related, and it goes back to Jesus Christ again, therefore feeding the matrix. Yes, okay. I have some questions. You said it is a different type of energy that this person emanates. Where does this energy come from? Who is this person really then? And yes, I understand there are many, not just one. When you are enlightened, you realize what you are. You know deep inside yourself that you are consciousness and a fractal of the universe and of oneness with all its attributes and capabilities. From your personal point of view, you know that you are the creator. At the same time, you know all the apparent other people are also you. So no narcissism exists, as all you want is your own welfare. And you know the only way to achieve that is to help others that are only you again. This gives you a unique perspective from the point of view of others. So they tend to stick near you for your company and for information. In essence, it's for you to give them spirituality, answers. That is, tools and coping mechanisms. As you hold so many answers and you are not invasive or narcissistic, you do give off a peculiar energy signature, so-called DK energy or Christ consciousness, because of many factors like the one stated above, or others like simply having no fear. Also, as you know what you are and enlightened, you have mental control over things others do not or cannot, altering reality, physical reality, with thought alone. This is the part attributed to the Jedi, as they are capable of handling the so-called Force. That is nothing else but a mastery over mirroring principles of this universe, also known as law of attraction. You can control matter with mind alone. You can alter time with thought alone as well. That goes for the Jedis too, yes? The Jedis and DKs. What's the difference between them? The Jedis work alone and DKs not? DK is a state of mind. The Jedi is an applied DK doing something with being DK, not only sitting under a tree feeling enlightened. The Jedi is a warrior, like a samurai. No boss, no one to respond to. Knowing that you are DK, you need no one else. Samurai warrior with no master, hence a Ronin. Ergo, the Jedi Ronin. Okay, are both from beyond 5D, or that has nothing to do with that, and anyone, even a 3D human, can become one? Anyone can become that, as consciousness can transcend and always transcends all densities. How do you become a DK or a D Jedi really practically? Does it have to do with the so-called Kundalini awakening? Is it just going through some kind of enlightenment and you begin to embody that energy? We must first define Kundalini awakening, as I've seen many variants of what it is. Yes, please. People talk about it a lot. Some kind of spiritual awakening, oftentimes accompanied with the awakening of certain psychic connections. Okay, Kundalini. It's part of awakening, and they say it's a snake energy that climbs up the spinal cord, from the base chakra to the crown chakra, giving you a rebirth with new psychic powers and knowledge. That's what I have seen so far on Earth. I do not find any real energy surge like that, not from here. Something peculiar to humans, perhaps. I believe it's more of the New Age spiritual amalgamation with Eastern Zen and Buddhist doctrines. I don't even adhere to the chakra ideology or ideas, really. Not like that. I tend to be all-inclusive. And how do you become it? You just follow your path, and when you realize it, you are that. Usually, it's someone else who will say that you are one. Most of the time, you do not even notice what you are. What does their presence and energy do while on Earth, practically? How do they differ from other starseeds? They are like a guiding beacon, order in a world of chaos, a hope to cling on to. The biggest difference is the connection to Source, to so-called Akashic records. Akashic records, another can of worms to discuss. Mental powers also may set them apart. Many fear them. The change they may bring onto a world or a planet is huge. Profound changes will follow the presence of one. You said there are many of them, right? Is it known how many on Earth? We know that for many, there is a special person who is a DK now on Earth. But for political and interspecies reasons, we cannot reveal that information. But in general, I do not hold a number. Anyway, it would be changing day to day. How does it relate to the second coming of Christ and all that? As a man, as said Christ returning to Earth, it's a myth. Unless you refer to the mass awakening on Earth as the return itself. Yes, some people frame it that way. I once heard that quote, Christ would return in mass the second time, not as one man, but as a mass of countless individuals holding that energy. Does this energy have a specific source? Or is it purely a mental state? Yes, it's source. Return of the knowing of what we all are. Not only DKs, everyone is that. That energy doesn't come from one density, from all at once. It's oneness itself manifesting from everywhere at once, as everything is source. It cannot come from one place and not from another, or the nature of the energy itself would not be what it is. It must come from an all-inclusive oneness, or else it would be non-inclusive, therefore selective, therefore not enlightened. Would also bring the concept of that energy and not that energy. Ergo, duality again. Ergo on ergo, not from higher realms, and then not enlightened at all. I see, yes. As I said yesterday, I accept to be a DK, but not the DK, as I do not acknowledge the existence of only one. I insist, we all are that. Every conscious soul is that, not exclusive of a few people, let alone of only one person. Even Crockett, my dog, is a DK? Yes, and his fleas as well, if he has any.